My beautiful, beautiful best friend.
Me?
Yes. Well, who else?
Oh, you're already starting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't even warn you. You know me.
I know you, Jelly. Yeah. Do you know me?
Yeah, I know you. Every single year for the past 5 years, I have read and dissected Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Every single year at work. I always use that story during Halloween time, and I make it like a huge thing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna gloat for a bit because I really like that I do this.
No, it's fine.
I make it a huge thing, and I make my whole work area into a murder mystery.
Oh,
so for
cute.
an entire like 2 weeks before Halloween, everyone is like, "But who did it? But who did it?" Have you ever read Monsters Due on Maple Street?
I don't think so.
It's basically a short story. Well, it's a screenplay,
yeah.
of a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh.
And basically what happens is that there is a street where the lights flicker. And all of a sudden everyone comes out of their houses and they were like, "What was that? Why did the lights do that?" And our main character is like, "I don't know. Gee Williker is so weird. What do you guys think happened?" And everyone's just like, "It's nothing. It's nothing." And one kid says, "It's aliens. I know it because in my comic book, this is exactly what happens." And then everyone kind of laughs it off. And they're like, "No, it can't be aliens. No, right? It's not aliens." And so then they're like, "Okay, out of just, playing along with you, what happens next?" It's like, "Oh, well, they're going to kill us, basically." And everyone's like, no, that's not going to happen. So they send one guy off to the next street. And they're like, "Go check if the lights are off." And so they all sit there. And with time, they all start like, "Well, you know what? When the lights went off, where the fuck was Gregory? He wasn't here."
Yeah.
And it's like, very suspicious. Actually, this character over here, sometimes I stare at them at night. And they're staring at the sky at 2 a.m.
That's weird.
And then he's like, "No, but I have insomnia." And why the fuck are you looking at me at 2 a.m? It's like, so they're just like, none of this makes sense and whatever. And then one of them is like, "You know what? The guy who went to the next street over, he hasn't come back. I'm going to go to City Hall and whatever and figure out what's going on." And about to walk up to his car, and it turns on by itself. And then it turns off. And everyone's like, "Did you see that? Oh my God, he's an alien!" And they start like all pointing. And then at one point, I forget what point it happens at, but all of them start running up to someone. And the main character is like, no, you're creating a mob. Don't you see what you're doing? But whatever. And so then at the point, like the peak of it is they're all really scared and it's dark because the lights are still off. And you see a big figure walking towards them. And they get really scared. So the main character's best friend gets his shotgun and shoots it right in the middle. And this figure falls. And when they go up to this figure, it's the guy that they had sent on the next street. And they're like, "Oh my fucking God. Did you see that?" I forget his name. I'm going to call him Larry. "Did you see that Larry just shot him?" It's as if he knew that we were going to get like information that would make Larry look bad. "Oh my God, Larry's an alien." He's like, "I'm not." And then that's when his car turns on. And then like after that, everyone accuses Larry. But then someone's light turns on from across, like all the way at the end. It's like, "Oh my gosh, it's that person." Then this light turns on. "No, it's that person." And they all start doing that. And then one person throws a rock. And after that first rock is thrown, they just go crazy.
Really?
And they all just start attacking each other and like horrible shit. And then the camera zooms out and we're watching it from like on top of a hill. And there's 2 aliens sitting in a spaceship. And they're like, "You see, all you have to do is flicker one light and they do the job for you." And that's how it ends.
Damn, that's a good ending.
I love Maple Street. So when I figured out that this story was inspired by Maple Street, I was like, this story better fix my life. Do you think it can yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Okay. Welcome to the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. Maple Street edition. I'm your host, Shelly.
And I'm your host, Haida. Wow, I had no idea about that backstory.
Now you do. Now you know how important it is to me. And the fact that
let me just take a guess.
the fact that this story said they were inspired by Maple Street, and R.L. Stein wrote a little tidbit. Creepy, frightening. I want to scream.
That's interesting. You already knew this before starting this book? Okay, because in the blurb of, I forgot where it is. I think it might be on Goodreads. It was saying that it's a mix between Haunting of Hill House and Get Out, which I fucking love both of those. Mm-hmm. So I was over here thinking like, oh, wow. Well, I mean, I guess I could kind of see
they did call it Maple Street.
It happened, you know?
Yeah. But I had very high hopes going into this book. So this book, by the way, was actually recommended to us by someone online.
It was. Well, not this book specifically. They just said the author, if we could read books from this author. Mm-hmm. So we did 2 in this batch, and one of them being White Smoke. But I had already heard about White Smoke because it was pretty popular on Book Talk for a while. I haven't really seen it recently, but yeah, for a while I did see it a lot. Well,
it was advertised a lot by Epic Reads as well.
Yeah.
So I was assuming very great things. Why don't we just get started by introducing our main character?
So our main character's name is Marigold, and she is actually a part of a blended family. And she moved away from the West Coast because her mom got this job that allowed her to live in this house for free. And you said it was called Maple Street.
Yes.
So this house, first let me just say that she has a half sibling, Piper, and then her other sibling, Sammy.
Yes.
She has a stepdad and then her mom.
Yeah. They're all moving into this house. Right off the bat, you could tell Marigold has a lot of mental health issues. Mm-hmm. She's very fixated on bed bugs.
Yeah.
So she knows so many facts about them, and she's so afraid of them. Mm-hmm. So anything that is related to like looking like bed bugs, she'll immediately freak out. And Sammy and her mom are really good with going like, "Hey, you're right here."
They're really good at derailing those thoughts from her.
The stepdad does not like Marigold because she had an incident where she was super obsessed with weed. Mm-hmm. And they had to send her to like a rehabilitation center for it.
Yeah.
And he still thinks of her like that. Mm-hmm. So he's very accusatory to everything. Like, oh, don't you think Marigold might have been part of this? Don't you think Marigold is kind of manipulating? You know.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's kind of sad because it definitely causes more issues between like the siblings, more specifically with Piper.
Yes.
Which is, she's like 10, I think.
But Piper's
tremenda,
dude.
Yeah, she
is. Like, literally, she's waiting.
Piper's definitely not someone who is meant to be likable, but she is a child.
Dude. Oh. Even if she's a child, dude, she
gets too close.
Because literally, it would just be Sammy and Marigold having a good moment, and Piper would come like, Dad, fucking Sammy's hitting me. Or, like, you know, she would always blame. I'm like, fucking Piper, shut the fuck up. Oh, my God. So annoying.
Yeah.
But they're moving. This dysfunctional put together family is moving into Maple Street because it's free. Mm-hmm. The only thing that needs to be done is that the mom has to write a story.
Yeah.
Based on where they're living. And so they move in.
Yeah. And things kind of like are a little off from the very beginning, right?
Right off the bat. The fact that everyone was like, no, we don't. We just don't go into the basement.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Why? What's in there?
Yeah, and the fact that none of them went into the basement. Mm-hmm. As soon as I move into a house, the first thing I'm going to do is go into every single room.
Yeah, to make sure nobody is stashed in here, you know?
Yeah, so the fact that they were just like, nah.
That's just a thing, right?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Like, you would double check every room, every, like, floorboard, every nook and cranny, just make sure.
Dude, did I tell you that, like a few months ago, I was sitting with my coworker and we were talking about where I live. And she was like, yeah, I remember I used to be there a lot because my aunt used to own that house. It's such a nice house. You must love having that little basement compartment, right? was like, what? What do you, I don't have, and she's like, yeah, you have that like door that opens to the bottom. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. She's like, it's not like a room. It's just like you can fit a lot of stuff in there. And to this day, I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But apparently I have one.
What the
And as soon
fuck?
as she told me that, I was like, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah. That would
I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, that would creep me out.
Hell no.
I say we check.
I don't know where to
with
check.
the big stick.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so they move into this house.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you feel about Marigold in the beginning when remember that part where she like was checking the mattresses and shit, and though I think it was the mom who was like, she's just very proactive, you know, she wants to make sure that the house is clean.
Vibes, honestly. You know what? Having sat with this book a little longer, I don't completely hate Marigold, but I don't think they wrote her as a likable character.
No, I don't think
Which
so.
I don't think was the intention of this author. I think their intention was for us to like Marigold.
Really?
I
don't think so, because remember that part where she makes friends and with that guy, what was his name again? The guy character who like
the really sweet one. Yusef. His name was Yusef Brown.
Okay, well, Yusef was a really nice character, right? And so she becomes friends with him kind of pretty immediately after moving in. And then when she finally makes another character, it's so funny because she's literally thinking like, oh my god, how am I gonna get weed? Oh my god, because it helps her relax, because she's very like OCD. And so Yusef makes a comment about like, you know, like smoking, gross, right? And so she kind of like, yeah, gross, ew. Yeah. And so when she finally makes another friend, which is a girl, she kind of gets this vibe off of her, like that she would smoke. Yeah. And then this girl, I think they're at a party or something, this girl like offers her like a little puff, right? Yep. And Yusuf immediately is thinking like, no, she doesn't smoke. And then fucking Marigold's like, yeah, but like I
don't want to be wasteful though.
Yeah, but like
I don't want to be wasteful.
Let me just have a little bit, you know, like just
my lips are chapped.
Let me just have like a little.
I mean, I don't want to leave her hanging.
I don't want her to finish.
I don't want her to get super high. So I will take some of it.
I'll take half of the high.
Okay, I'll just take it. It's fine. I'll just take it.
So what was going on with the house? Do you remember the sequence of events of how things were being weird? I just remember the first thing that she noticed was the smell. But she was like, ugh, I just don't like how like new houses smell, or houses that you don't know. This kind of
reminded me of The Boy. You remember The Boy?
Yes, I do remember The Boy. Because
it was like, everything felt very supernatural. So it was the smell, rotting smell. And then ongoing incident was Piper's imaginary friend,
Mrs. something. You know what's funny? I really did think that it was an imaginary friend, because I was like, where the fuck is she? Where is she?
I get it, but I was also like, this is a ghost. It's straight up a ghost, because there's no way all of this is going on.
Oh, yeah. I get what you mean. I did also think it was a ghost story.
I thought it was a ghost who was just like fucking with them. Also, the dog. Also, there was like a scene where, remember, the dog was standing on its two legs? And it was just frozen in fear for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Why the fuck would it do that?
Because it was scared.
My cat's been scared before. Why would it do that if it weren't something paranormal?
Yeah, that doesn't...
Wait, hold on. Can you remind me? Was it paranormal?
No.
Right? Okay. Then I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It doesn't make any sense. It wasn't actually any haunting, which I kind of wish it was.
I kind of wish it was too. How did you feel that she didn't want to be Yusef's friend at the beginning until she figured out that he has like a gardening club and she can take the stuff to make her own weed?
I just feel like, and since the very beginning, I was like, damn, she is not
it's Max.
I was like, damn, she is not a good person at all. Like, the fact that you're just using this nice guy
Yep.
For your own like gain. It's just really sad, honestly. And Yusuf even, when he caught on what she was doing this whole time, he was like, damn, I really thought that, you wanted to be my friend, but it looks like you've just been using me since this whole time.
Yep.
And then again, she needed him again after that. And it was like,
Yeah.
leave that boy alone.
You know, I don't think I ever like stories where a character is addicted to a drug. I don't think I ever go towards those types of stories.
Really?
So yeah, not like anyone can read whatever they want, but it always feels weird to me. Like it makes me not want to.
But
like,
there's other forms of addiction though.
Yeah, there are, but I don't know, something about this teenage character, just always talking about weed.
Yeah.
While all this is going on.
I get you.
I wasn't down for that. I wrote a review for this book.
Oh, you did? But I feel, but wasn't there like a section in this book where it was discussing that people were getting incarcerated or have been incarcerated for weed, but then it was like legalized in some states? So
yeah, there was a part where it got legalized where she was living at.
Yeah, so I think that was the conversation it was trying to bring up, like the fact that you're vilifying this drug, but then it's not actually that bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this was like the thought process in that. But I kind of wish it would have focused more on like the haunting, not haunting part of it.
How did you feel then? Okay, bringing up that first thing. How did you feel that her friend Erica was arrested for smoking and in possession of all that weed? And also, she didn't put the weed there.
She didn't. I don't know. I was kind of just like, okay,
that's just something that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about that part.
Yeah. Because
I kind of agree with you too. Like, I don't necessarily love when characters are addicted to drugs either. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like if the story development would have been a little bit better in terms of like the drug use. Yeah. Then maybe I would have liked it more. But I just kind of felt bad that she was such a bad friend the entire time.
That's disappointing. One thing that I did not like at all in this book is the dialogue. Yeah, I get that. I thought the dialogue was really poorly written. And I thought the story sequence of events were really hard to follow.
Yeah, I get that. I was kind of confused in certain parts too. And then I feel like some parts were kind of like muddled, like forgettable. I'm not really sure how to word it, but there were some parts where I was kind of like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. And it's weird because none of for all the dialogue that was in this story, because I felt like it was very dialogue heavy, it feels like none of these characters built a genuine relationship. Yeah. Not even with her brother, who she already has a relationship with. Mm-hmm. But there was the part where like fucking Yusuf is like, hey, be nice to Piper, Callie. That's a child. Yeah. And then she's your sister. It was the first time she was like, wow, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah. Because I guess she saw something traumatic, no?
Yeah.
What was it?
She saw Marigold be taken away for smoking. And right before Marigold left, she told Piper that she didn't fucking matter. But it was because she was so desperate to smoke that she was just, mean to everyone. Yeah. And it really got Piper.
That is really sad. I don't know. Like, I kind of wish the development between her and Piper would have been better. Then maybe I would have cared more. But honestly, like, Piper was just, like, an annoying little sister anyway, so.
I wish that this book pushed more that you're supposed to feel bad for Piper. Because anytime she'd go through shit, I'd be like, Sarah, you fucking suck, bitch.
Yeah, good for you. It's really sad because she's only 10. But
10-year-olds are mean nowadays.
So I shouldn't feel bad then?
No.
So what was the reveal? Let's just get to the reveal.
So I'll be very honest with you. I didn't get the reveal. So I just know that this imaginary friend that Piper had was an actual person that used to live there in the house that they're living in, along with like a family. Yeah. And this family was hated, right?
Something like that. Like there was something going on between this family and the neighborhood.
Yeah. So the neighborhood got rid of this family. Mm-hmm. and they're like, I don't know if the neighborhood knows that they live there.
Wasn't like a lot of the houses vacant?
Yeah.
So I don't really think like word got around, obviously, because Yusuf knew a lot of stuff about the house, but I don't think they knew that they lived there. I thought they believed that they had either died or disappeared. I don't remember which one.
But they've been living in the basement.
Yeah, this whole time.
And I thought they knew because everyone was like, no, you don't go in the basement. Like they were just allowing them to live there.
That makes sense, yeah.
There was something about one of the guys that was in there too. Mm-hmm. What was his whole thing?
Wasn't he just like trying to help Marigold? But she was scared by him because he couldn't really speak, right?
Yeah.
Something like there was something wrong with his speech. I'll be honest. I feel like the ending was kind of like anticlimactic, so it was kind of hard for me to.
It was lame, dude.
Keep up with.
I did not. I was hoping that you would understand the ending.
No, because like.
Piper thought that the lady was her friend, and then she goes, "Why doesn't anyone like you?" And Marigold's like, "I don't fucking know, Piper. You tell me." Mm-hmm. Piper, I like you. No, you don't. You hate me. I should have died in the fire. Sammy and Buddy got hurt, and it's all my fault. The place burns down. Everyone knows that Maplewood is burning. Pop says, animals don't believe in the Lord. They're not animals. I want to snap. Not just at him, but anyone. Maybe that's it. Maybe they can't see what the foundations block. And then she says to herself, change is good. Change is not always necessary, but the right change is most definitely needed. Did they catch that John yet? And they tense and they wrote, nope, not yet. So Piper goes, do you think he's okay? Yeah. He will be. I'll make sure of it. She thinks for a moment, then says, we should leave him sandwiches before bedtime now so he doesn't get hungry. He likes tuna fish. So they're going to allow John to continue to live in the basement?
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
And then it ends with like the sermon that they're listening to. I don't know. I will raise up from them a prophet like you from among their brothers, and I will put my word in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. Children of God, the Lord has asked me to speak to you tonight to do his will. For weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. I would not lead you astray. Trust me. The end. Wow. Dude.
I feel like we didn't really explain much, but it's okay because I think you, who's listening to us, need to experience this on your own.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't feel like we explained much, but at the same time, what is there to explain? This is a story about a girl who's addicted to weed, and she lives in a home where it feels like it's going to be ghostish, but at the end of the day, there's just people living in the basement who she should have turned in. But because she's like, change is necessary, change is needed. Yeah. She wants to be friends with Piper. Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm going to take care of him because now I'm the hero in this story. Because she's better than who she once was. And I like how her addiction to weed stopped by her going like, it's legal now?
I don't want it.
Hell no.
So what's the fun in that? Guess meth is next.
Oh my gosh. And dude, I feel so bad because I think Yusef's a really great guy. Such a wasted character in this story. I wish we would have seen more of him because he really liked her. And any interactions they had, I thought were always so cute.
Yeah, I did really like him too.
And the one where he was like, but I really like you. And everyone was like, what? He's like, not like that, guys. Not like that.
Yeah.
I loved him. It's such... I felt very let down by this book. I did read some reviews already.
Oh, you did? And
it looks like many people would agree that this is not her best work.
Really?
Out of all the books that she's written.
Okay. I was kind of sad because I really like the cover. I think the cover is really beautiful. Yeah. And I just thought, I don't know, like I really thought that it was going to be like a haunting, you know, like Haunting on Hill House, and Get Out wasn't like haunted, but you know, like the thriller vibes and like you not knowing what the fuck is going on. Like I really wanted that aspect of both of those stories, and I love both of those stories. And I just feel like, I don't know, this one just kind of missed the mark for me, but I agree with you where I did really like Yusuf's character.
Yep.
And like, I don't know, like, I mean, the thought is interesting, but
This got a lot of love.
yeah, it's I saw it a lot on TikTok, so that's not surprising. And then I would see a lot of people say like read this during spooky month. There
But
were some unsettling moments, like that moment where that guy was just looking at her, but you don't know it's that guy. You think it's just like this black silhouette because it's like down the hall, I think.
Yep.
Like that part was creepy. And then there's that part, oh my God, that part where she was talking to her friend on FaceTime and her friend was like, who's that behind you? And then it just like fucking cut off. And I was like, what the fuck?
Thank you. Yes, I agree. Those are spooky parts. But didn't it always feel like something scary would happen? And then there'd be a little gap and time passed. And it's like, okay, this is happening now. And it's like, are we not going to discuss?
No, nobody would discuss it. And then she even brought that up in the book, the main character. She was like, yeah, like we knew that we would hear things or smell things or experience things, but nobody talked about it. Nobody wanted to talk about it.
I hated that. I hate that shit.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would talk about it too.
I kind of wish they had a family dinner and weird shit was going on and everyone's like, it's Wednesday.
Another day, you know. You know what really like makes me sad?
What?
Is the fact that the stepfather doesn't like her. It like makes me sad because there was a moment, I can't remember exactly when it happened, but something was going wrong with Piper. I think Piper was having like a...
No, Piper was left behind. And because something was happening to the house. And Marigold ran in to get her. But Piper was, remember, staring at the wall. So she's like, I can't grab her. And she leaves. And then Piper's like, oh my gosh, Marigold left me. And then Alan, I think that was his name, talks to Piper's mom and is like, you need to control that daughter of yours. She is nothing but trouble. And she's she's smoking again. She's this. And the mom's first like reaction was like, drug test her. Yeah. It's like, really? You didn't even bother to like
it's
look
so
at my
sad. It makes me really sad for her because obviously like she's going through all of this. Oh, and then so her dad lives in California still. And so I think it was after this moment, maybe it was another one where she was like, I'm moving back with my dad. Like she was so ready to leave and just like not look back. And it just makes me sad because I feel like even though, you know, they went through all of this, I don't think this mended her relationship with her stepfather. Like, I feel like her stepfather is still kind of like...
Yeah, but he did defend her once, remember? I think that was supposed to show the mend. When he was like, don't talk about my stepdaughter like that.
Yeah.
And she looks over and is like, wow.
But I just kind of wish it was like more,
yeah,
you know, more impactful, more consistent.
How did you feel when Piper was like on the floor, I think, and she had bed bugs all over her? You remember that?
Wasn't it? Wait, what was the coffee one?
The coffee was on the couch.
Like she actually had bed bugs? I don't remember that part.
There was a part where Piper was on the floor and there were bugs all over her.
God, that's...
And it's funny because Marigold was like, oh, gross. But she was like, it's Piper. It's Piper. I need to grab Piper. And she grabs her. And like could feel them crawling on her. But she's like, oh, no, I gotta grab her.
Ick. That's literally so fucking gross.
Can I read you my review?
Yeah.
Because I will forget that I want to mention this. I gave this a 1 star.
Okay.
Sorry. And I wrote, I need to sit with this book for a bit because I really was thrown off by the dialogue and the sequence of events. Not sure if I enjoyed it yet. Might edit later. For now, I am giving this a 1 star because I did not care for a single character in this story. It felt like everyone was yelling all the time and no one had a true developed connection. Even Sam and Mary seemed off. I really wanted to like this book, but that twist at the end did not hit and just left me dissatisfied.
You didn't like the twist? It wasn't twisty enough for you?
It wasn't twisty enough. And everyone in the like comments or like reviews was saying like, wow, the fact that they like circled back with the changes needed and stuff. And I'm like, it didn't really hit though. I feel like it would have hit more if she had always said that quote when mentioning big impactful things in the story. Yeah. Or like if it started every single chapter like that and then ended the story like that. But to me, what change happened?
I would assume more like the change within their relationships, no? And that would be the biggest one because nobody really trusted her.
That's true, but she said change is necessary and then they brought up feeding John. So it's like,
that's not really the important part, though. Is that really the lesson here?
Change is necessary, but I still kind of want to smoke weed. So,
but not anymore.
I know it's, I don't know.
It's
something
legal.
about it being legal, yeah.
Just doesn't hit. That's why. But yeah, I think I would agree with your rating. I think I would also give it 1 star. And
Are you sad to give it a 1? Because
I'm sad. I'm really sad because I felt like I was really, really excited to read this one. I thought that it was gonna be like spooky.
Have you realized that both books that have ever been recommended to us, you've given 1s?
What was the other one?
Den of
Don't.
Vipers.
That book sucked.
Hold on, 5 out of 5. What are you talking
No, it wasn't. You didn't even give it 5.
I think I gave it a 1 on Goodreads because I know it's bad, but something about it.
That doesn't make sense.
Something about it. Oh, love.
I'm really sad because
It was.
I really wanted to like this book, but I mean,
what are we to do?
what are we to do? But don't let that deter you, to anyone who is listening, from recommending us books.
Yeah, I love when people recommend books. I had totally forgotten that this was a recommended book, and I asked you like, "Oh, should we add different books to our reads?" And you're like, "No, we can't take these out." And I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I know I'm right. Thank you.
Okay, so here's a 1-star rating from Jen, who said, DNF 2 hours into the audio. You will hear a high schooler spend most of her time chasing after marijuana and talking about bed bugs to an extreme degree, grating on your nerves badly while some minimally spooky stuff happens. It was insufferable. First of all, DNFing it and writing a review kind of feels unfair.
Yeah.
But that being said, that is kind of how I felt at the beginning. Like, I felt kind of weird just seeing, like, going through the experience of someone just talking about weed all the time.
Yeah.
And
like, I was kind of like, damn, do I need some?
It took away from the story, though. Like, I feel like if they had spent more time of just, like, a girl, like, who really likes real estate, and it's like, but it's kind of weird that they won't tell us the facts of what was here before. And it could have been just, like, a whole ghost hunting story with her and Yusef. I would have loved that shit.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been cool. They didn't need to add that.
Okay. Let me do
a good one.
3-star because I want to see what we think about it, okay? Oh, no. I don't really see any, 5.
No, they're all 4s.
Oh, here we go. Okay, this one. This person gave it 5 out of 5. Their name is Nora, and they said, this was my first read by Tiffany D. Jackson, and I'm happy to report it won't be my last. Horror and psychological thrillers are 2 genres that I hardly pick up, but I was seeing white smoke literally everywhere and decided it was a sign. You know those books where you read the first chapter or so and you're instantly hooked? This one was one of those books for me. Let me just say, I was creeped out from the very beginning. Nothing to make sleep a little uncomfortable like reading this before bed. This book really took turns that I just wasn't expecting. I love reading those books where you think you know it all, but clearly you don't. This book was exactly like that. I swear to you, the twist had me yelling. The story was fast-paced for the most part. I personally don't mind slow books, but this one wasn't slow for me. I had goosebumps constantly, and sitting in a room alone reading when there's no one in the house is possibly the best and worst decision of my life. Now, that brings up a good question, Shelly. Were there any moments in this book where you felt unsettled?
No.
None at all? Not even that dog part? Not even when you thought it was going to be a ghost story?
I think the reason I didn't feel unsettled at all was because I didn't like the writing style. But I did just read that this is her debut book.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Which
Wow.
makes me feel a little more like, okay.
Which is interesting because this book is pretty popular. Yeah. So it did well. It was received well.
I wonder why Epic Reads, that really famous blogging or whatever thing, they made a book trailer for this on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
So, like, it did well enough for them to do that. So I wonder what can you do for that to happen?
Yeah. Well, somebody must have read it and just really loved it. And that's probably how it ended up happening.
That's crazy to me. Wow, she wrote a lot in 2020. Or no, she's going to write a lot in 2024.
That's awesome.
No, wait, it's not her first. It's her third. But it's her first.
Like horror, right?
Yep. Someone wrote that Tiffany bit off more than she can chew. She tried to weave in too many issues: anxiety, drug addiction, blended family, gentrification into what was supposed to be a horror story, and everything ended up being shortchanged. The horror ended up being based in some of the social issues, and in the end came off as completely unbelievable. The book didn't end, it just stopped with no resolution. Some authors do an excellent job at telling stories that just seem to drop in and out of the lives of their characters without necessarily wrapping the ending up in a pretty bow. This wasn't that. It was a very slow build followed by a flurry of activity and an extremely abrupt ending with no resolution. I read and enjoy a lot of YA books, but this one might have just been enjoyed more by an actual YA who has a greater ability to suspend disbelief and overlook loose ends. I've heard so many good things about Tiffany Jackson that I'll give another of her books a try and hope that this one was just an anomaly. I do kind of think that this book would have been better if she hadn't tried to do so much in one.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. It was too much was happening.
I think I'm a little let down too because of how much I like Maple Street. Mm-hmm. Like the idea of like a street becoming a mob due to their beliefs, because that's what happened. Mm-hmm. But the mob part didn't hit because all it was their neighbors going like, yeah, and you suck. And it's like, no, I wish there would have been more like back and forth with the
like
neighbors.
An actual like conflict.
And also when they revealed that she had her weed farm.
Oh my god! And then Yusuf saw it. Damn.
She was like, wait, but it's almost grown.
Don't be mad at me, though.
Don't be mad.
Aren't you impressed? Aren't you a little, like, shocked?
It becomes Breaking Bad, but with weed. It's her and Yusuf.
Damn, that's awesome. It should be, huh?
Oh, my God. I am let down by this story. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it.
I don't think so either. Let's just wrap it up so we can get to her next one.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone who is listening, whether that be in Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Oh my God, I'm like losing it. Okay. Thank you everyone who is listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars, it takes like 2 seconds, and a review recommending us another book. Like you said, I really hope that people continue to recommend us books because I really like reading recommended books. If you have money and would like to support us, what's something they can do?
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment there's really not much on there. But it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you really appreciate what we do here. I mean, we do post twice a week. So if you are interested, you can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, you can also find us on Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix, or buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix.
If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. If you want to support us on social media, we do have a TikTok at The Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX, and an Instagram at The Book Fix Pod, THEBOOKFIXPOD. Thank you. No, that's it. Wow, I'm out of it. This one took me out. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. You know, I think this would do better as a movie.
Ooh, I would watch it.
I would too.
I think it would be good. I feel like, especially with because you're right, it does remind me of The Boy, where it's like you think it's going in the supernatural aspect, but then it's like, oh shit, it's not what I think it was.
Seeing it would have made me feel more unsettled.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like writing horror is a hard thing. And the fact that she tried it, good for her. I know that sucks.